Alright, so if I'm not mistaken, we should be live right now. Not everyone is gonna even be here at first, and that's alright, because it's not required. Hello everyone who may be watching this. I just figured since I saw a bunch of people doing tier lists of the Ace Attorney cases on Reddit, so I figured I've played the original trilogy, and I might as well do a tier list of that. I was gonna make my own tier list on here, but I need a Twitter account to do that, and I just don't want to go through that whole process. Plus, they have all the cases from the original trilogy on here. I'll just have to just include all of those and not include any of the other ones. I would also like to say that to anyone who has played the original trilogy and has a different opinion that I do, that's completely fine, because this is just my opinion. I'm not really holding this up as a fact or a standard to which people should think. This is just what I personally think the tier list is, and I have some unpopular opinions. So, some people don't realize the fact that the reason why your opinions are your opinions are unpopular for a reason a lot of the time. So, a lot of people often treat it as if everyone else is wrong, but the truth of the matter is that as long as people disagree on something, no one's really right or wrong. So, yeah. Anyways, I will include only the ones from the original trilogy, because that's the only one I've played, and here we go. Now, I've thought about this before I even did this, and I think it's pretty obvious what's gonna go first. Turnabout Big Top is the worst one. I'm still putting it in okay, because there aren't a lot. I don't think any of the cases I've played I could actually call bad, but there were certainly ones that were worse than others. And Turnabout Big Top was interesting because it had some interesting elements going for it. There was a mystery that sort of unraveled as the case went on, but the 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 guy you have to defend is just a jerk. He's kooky, he's weird, and he wants to marry a minor, and he's just not a good person, and you almost lose interest in even playing the case, because the guy you defend, you honestly don't care to defend. I mean, of course he wasn't guilty, but it's like he's just not a very nice guy, and you almost don't want to defend him because of this. Yeah, and the other main characters are just as weird. I mean, they almost feel as if they don't belong in an Ace Attorney game. They feel as if they belong in their own game, because they just don't mash up with Ace Attorney. And I know the characters in Ace Attorney aren't exactly realistic. They're always a bit weird, but I mean, the characters in this case are just so annoyingly strange. It's just, yeah. Also, Francisca is at her worst here. She's always annoying, but here she's just, yeah, really, really annoying. But yeah, that's all I have to say about that. The next one is probably another anticipated one, though this is better, and I would still put it in the good category if I can find it. There it is. Turnabout Samurai. Now, the reason why I'm putting this as the second worst, and I like all of the cases in a way, so when something is really, really low down, it doesn't mean it's actually a bad case. It just means that compared to the other ones, it's not that great. Turnabout Samurai was was good, but it felt drawn out, because it's the third case in an Ace Attorney game, so that means that it's not going to be it's not going to be story based. It's just sort of a generic case to give you something to do before you actually move on with the story elements. And it did have some things going for it. It's the first case where you partner with Maya, and that's always oh crap. Hold on. Shoot. All right, so I was live. Wait, no, I was. This was unlisted for a while, and I absolutely had. Oh shoot! All right, stop doing that. I had no clue that it was unlisted. So yeah, for anyone who's just joining right now, if anyone happens to be watching this, I have currently put. Oh my God, why did I say put it? That is not a real word. Hello, whoever has joined. This was unlisted for a while, but it just went public. So to catch you up, I have put Turnabout Big Top as in the OK category and as the worst one, and I have put Turnabout Samurai in as the second worst and in the good category. And I need to continue to explain why I'm putting this here. So. It was an interesting case. It had interesting elements, but that's sort of to be expected from an Ace Attorney case. The main problem with it and why it's the second worst is because it just felt too drawn out for a case that was supposed to be just a generic one. Of course, it introduced the idea that Edgeworth isn't a total villain, and it's the first case that you work with Maya on, but besides that, it was sort of a generic case, and a lot of the stuff that happened in the game was rather infuriating, and it felt very difficult for something that was again supposed to be just a generic case. For instance, there was this one part where there was a cover over a vent, I think, yeah, a vent, and you have the choice to either leave it on or take it off, and if you leave it on, you can't progress further because nothing will happen. You have to take it off, but it gives you the option to leave it on or take it off. So if you leave it on, nothing happens, and if you take it off, that's the only possible option. But if that's the only thing that could possibly progress the game forward, then why in God's name? I mean, I just don't understand why that has to be the only option. Especially seeing as how it gives you two options, like that's the only thing that works, yet they give you two options. Like, you can't give me options and then only have one that works. It's just, yeah, but your client is actually someone you'd actually want to defend, and the mystery of it is quite interesting at the end when all this stuff begins to unravel and you realize that everything you thought you knew nothing about, that was great. But the thing is that happens with every Ace Attorney case, so it's not special in that sense. It just did a good job at it, but again, that's to be expected. The next one in the good cat, I'm not really sure if I'd call this good or not, but I don't know, I'll put this in the good category, but I don't know. I think I might be being a little generous with that. I mean, it's not a bad case. It is just this case is what was it called again? Recipe for Turnabout, I think. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I don't remember these. I am terrible at this, but yeah. This is another third case, so it's another generic case, just sort of there to pad the runtime out. So it's kind of expected that it wouldn't be too great. It's weird, but it's also not bad. I'd say it has a lot of funny, weird moments, but I don't know. It's also quite. I don't know. It's very weird. It is very, very weird. Especially that French guy who owns the restaurant. He's just. I don't even remember his name, but he's a weirdo. And Maya gets a job for a certain period of time. That's why she's wearing this in the thumbnail, because she gets a job for like 2 hours, and then she stops having that job. It's again, it's a weird case, but it's not bad. It's just weird. Also, when that one freaking robot chick who worked at the oh god, what was it even called? it was where the victim worked. Oh God, I completely forgot. But yeah, it was annoying because trying to get her psyche locks to, you know, go away, to break her psyche locks. That was just uh I don't know how I'm supposed to even describe that. But some of this is my own fault because I didn't know that I was supposed to have the losing horse ticket or the horse race ticket, or was it winning? I have no clue. But there was a horse racing ticket on the floor, and I didn't notice that, and I didn't pick it up, so that's probably my own fault. But it was sort of a difficult case to play, and was also just really, really weird, but and a good case nonetheless, I guess. But it was also weird. Another case. So the fourth worst, but we're getting into the pretty good category at this point in time. Just still being weird. What was this? Oh my God, what was it called? Turnabout Sisters. That's also the name of a song in the game. The only reason why I'm including this in at so low on the list is because although it's really, really good, and I apologize if someone is typing stuff in the chat and I'm not reading it. I can't. Oh crap! What did I do? It's not showing up for me. Alright, it should be working now if it wasn't working before. But anyways, the reason why I'm putting this so low in the tier list is because the main villains, April May and Red White, were pretty annoying. I know that's kind of the point, but Red White is just such a evil. I want to come up with a word that isn't a curse, but I really can't. He's just a nasty SOB, but I mean, he's also rather annoying. He talks in words that he thinks he knows, but he doesn't actually know, and it's quite annoying. Again, that's the point, but sometimes the point makes it less enjoyable, and because he was so annoying, it was I don't know, it was kind of hard to enjoy the case overall because of how much of a jerk he was. But also, April May, she won't answer a question you give, and she is a thought, and that's annoying. But again, being annoying doesn't really make something. Having annoying characters doesn't make something bad. But this is a case where, yeah, I don't know. It was a good case. It introduced Maya, but one of the best characters in the trilogy. But yeah, it was just rather weird, and I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, it did introduce some plot elements to come, like the DL6 incident and stuff like that, and it also introduced Edgeworth, the most loved character in the fandom. So, yeah, it was a good case, just Red White and April May kind of drag it down, although that was sort of intentional. Like, now that I've gotten those four out of the way, it's gonna be kind of hard for me to even choose anything else, because everything after that's really, really good. And even these four weren't bad, it's just that they had a few elements that dragged them down. But I think I'll have to include this. I'll probably still leave it in the good category, although I mean it's still really, really good. It's just alright, let me describe it. Alright, so wait, what was this even? Alright, Turnabout Beginnings. Again, I'm terrible with names, but Turnabout Beginnings is the very first trial Mia ever... Oh, shoot. Why'd that happen? Alright. Sorry about that. Anyways, so Turnabout Beginnings was the first trial Mia ever defended in. And because of this, it has this very interesting aesthetic to it. I don't know, it's just... Although these games aren't reality, you kind of come to accept it as reality, because that's what it's presenting as reality, but then when it flashes back to the past, it sort of feels really I don't know. It before it's bringing you into a world that doesn't exist in real life, and it kind of sucks you in, but this sucks you in even more because it's not actually, real. So, that's yeah. Well, it is real, but it's from a couple years ago in the game's canon. But yeah, the reason why I'm including it as a lower one is because although this was intentional again, my personal preference is that a case gives you the full trial, but this had a really disturbing ending. I want to spoil it, but I also don't. But at the same time, I did warn about spoilers in the description, and the fact that I'm even doing an Ace Attorney trilogy tier list kind of means that there are going to be spoilers. So basically, I might as well spoil it. So your client was dating Phoenix's previous girlfriend Iris, and Iris is an evil, crazy person who you cannot sympathize with whatsoever. But basically, both of them promised that I don't know what it was. If she ever got caught or something like that, I don't remember what the exact promise was. But if whatever the heck they promised would happen happens, he kills himself, which he did. He drank poison in front of the entire courtroom, and your client just dies in front of everyone. And that was rather dark and disturbing, and it ended it a little abruptly. Again, that was the intention, but at the same time, I sort of prefer a case that has a solid, and by solid I don't mean good, but solid by like sturdy opening and end that's not really left open-ended. But with this, he dies, and you really have no choice but to keep playing it. It can't be a satisfying case, and again, I understand the intention, but yeah, it's I should move on to the next tier. But anyways, what should I? I honestly don't know what to include, frankly. I think I'll put this in the good category as well. What am I going to say? Alright, so, this case, wait, what was it? Was it Reunion and Turnabout, I think. This introduced, Pearl Fey, a main character, throughout the rest of this game and the third game, and, it was a good, case, but it was a little annoying at times, because I was left sort of wandering around Kharian Village, wondering just what the heck I was supposed to do. But the case was rather interesting. It had kind of a lot of the best oh my god, I got it moments, basically where you realize that after all this time searching through evidence, you finally found the perfect piece of evidence and everything makes sense. When it was about a bullet going through the... again, I'll try to be as non-spoilerly as possible, but it's going to be kind of hard. It was about a bullet that went through the container and through the frickin' writings. When that happened, and through Maya's clothes, when I figured out what was actually going on, that was amazing. Honestly, it was very cheerworthy at that point in time. So yeah, it also introduced Pearl Fey, a main character, and yeah, so good case. Again, at this point in time, I'm really just choosing cases that are all going to be good. So a lot of them aren't going to be. Yeah, a lot of them are going to seem I don't know, weird. Um, yeah. Alright, so I'm gonna put this in the... I don't know. I think I'll put this in the great category at this point in time. Also, I'll put this in the great category, yeah. Anyways, no, I want to switch these around, though. There we go. Stop, please. Anyways, so... I wonder if I, like, killed, like, an entire village in my previous life, because a lot of the karma I get just doesn't seem proportional. Anyways, the Turnabout Beginnings was Maya's... No, it was Turnabout Memories, actually, which, I don't know, it sort of feels as if Turnabout Memories should be Turnabout Beginnings, and Turnabout Beginnings should be Turnabout Memories, but I don't know. But I guess Turnabout Beginnings makes sense, seeing as how it is Mia's first case. I get the names mixed up because they sound so similar. Anyways, this was Mia's second case as a defense attorney. It's the youngest we've seen Phoenix besides the class trial. You know, a bunch of other people have class trials too, but they have a black and white bear as a judge. Anyways, the reason why I'm including this here is because it's a... I don't know. I don't know why, honestly, but looking back, it felt like a good case. I don't know why. It was interesting, because you get to play as a completely different character and sort of see the beginnings for a lot of things that will develop later, and it was a good case overall. The reason why the one criticism I have is that seeing Phoenix like this is a little weird. I don't know, just seeing him lying and acting like he has no clue what's going on is just sort of, well, that's kind of how he is later on, but he just, I don't know, he feels a bit too much like a wimp in this one, but again, that's just my personal opinion. It's not, you know, it's, yeah, it's whatever you make of it. I think I'll probably include, I don't know, I'll include, the Stolen Turnabout in this category as well. It was, I think the reason why I'm putting this up so high is partly because of how much it diverted your expectations of what would usually make a case, because in this one you actually defend, well, the case itself isn't about a murder. It is later on, of course, because this is Ace Attorney. I mean, you're not gonna be doing divorce trials or anything, but like it becomes about a murder later on. But the starting case, which you solve pretty quickly, is about the something that was stolen instead of someone who was murdered, and that was very interesting. Also, and again, as I said in the description, this video includes spoilers, so you probably should have clicked off a really long time ago if you don't want to be spoiled of these games. But your client, Ron Delight, is actually the guy you were looking for. He says all the time that he's Mask, I think that's how you pronounce it. And no one believes him because his wife says he's delusional, and he just doesn't seem like the kind of guy who would steal stuff. He seems too wimpy. But no, he is actually the one who stole everything, and that's something you didn't really expect. And they actually use something that exists in real life. I'm not really sure to justify this. I'm not really sure how accurate it is. I'm not a lawyer, but they use the idea that the rule that you can't be accused of the same crime twice. So he was found innocent of one crime, of the same crime that he was tested for again, and because that happened twice, he can't get tried for the crime of being Mask again, because he was already found innocent. So although he actually was the criminal, there's really nothing anyone can do about that because of this law that exists in both Japan and the U.S. So yeah, I heard about that in like last year in school. Again, I'm not sure how accurate it is in the game, but yeah, that was a pretty good case. Not like, you know, a great case. It wasn't like incredible or anything, but you know. And also, it introduced Gatto. A friend told me that it's pronounced Gatto. I don't know how it is pronounced. Frankly, I think it's Gatto, but if I'm pronouncing it wrong, I'll just call him the coffee guy. But anyways, he's the one standing right there, and he's actually a decent prosecutor, and he's actually a kind of a cool guy. Usually, even Edgeworth, when he was introduced, was kind of a jerk, but honestly, Gatto seems like a cool dude, frankly. Of course, he's still a bad guy, but, you know. Now I think the only cases I have left are, like, the last cases, so... okay, well, some of them are beginning cases, but, you know, most of them are from the last. Yeah. I'm going to include the... what was this? Turnabout... what the hell? I don't know what this is called, actually. I don't remember what this was called. It was the first ever Ace Attorney case from the very first game, but I don't remember what it was called somehow. Turnabout... I don't know. I have no clue, but this is the first case you ever play, and I'd say for an introduction, it does a pretty good job. You know, it introduces Phoenix and his character. It introduces plot points for things to come. The you know, the thinking statue, and yeah, I'd say it's a decent beginning. I don't know. I remember when I was playing it, it was rather, I don't know, it felt kind of difficult doing the trial. I don't know why, but I don't know, it felt rather difficult, and that Sawit is rather annoying, because no matter how much definitive evidence you shove in his face, he constantly, you know, tries to stop you. But I do sort of think that sort of shows Phoenix's character and how determined he is, because no matter how many times he's told that his logic is stupid, he manages to come out on top. He's always right. Yeah. I'll include, what was this? The Forgotten Turnabout, I remember. Yeah, it's called that because Phoenix lost his memory because he was hit in the head with a fire extinguisher. Of course, he got it back, but yeah. The reason why I'm putting this so high up is because somehow it manages to feel like you're starting a new game while also feeling like a continuation of the last game. And that's something a lot of sequels can't do. They can't feel like a new game while also feeling like a continuation. But this manages to feel like both at the same time. And I don't know, it felt really interesting. I really don't. Yeah. Also, you know, part of the reason why Phoenix even lost his memory in the first place was so that we'd have a reason for him to get told the information over again. But you know, that's nitpicking, and overall the case is pretty good. Honestly, I don't know why. It just felt like a good case. I think. Let me check. Yeah, pretty sure this is the last one from the third game, last one from the first, the other last one from the first, last one from the second, and all the other ones are from the different games. So yeah, we're getting into the last ones, and yeah, best for last, right? So I think they're all gonna go in Kino, if that's how you pronounce it, but I don't know. The one I might just put in great, but I'm not really sure. I'll put, I honestly don't know. They're all pretty good. Again, all of them are really, really good cases, so I don't really know which one to put as the lowest. And I'm probably gonna piss a lot of people off if I even decide to put one as the lowest, but, Yeah, I honestly don't know. So, oh my god, I don't know why is this so difficult? Alright. Alright, I'm gonna put this in the... What? Again, this is going in... Crap, no, why did I put that? That was an accident, okay? I in no way think that this is bad, I just accidentally put it there. Anyways, this is the lowest, but it's also in Kino, so that means that it's pretty amazing. Anyways, so, yeah, what was this? This was Turnabout Goodbyes, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Turnabout Goodbyes. I'm not really sure why it's called that. I think it probably has something to do with the fact that Edgeworth is saying goodbye to his old mentor, and it's about the DL6 incident, which is overall pretty depressing, I guess, but I don't know. I think they probably could have come up with a little bit better title, but they couldn't have come up with a better cover art, though. That's, unfortunately, the camera won't focus, but yeah, that's a really good cover. Anyways, the reason why this is so high up is because, well, all the last cases from the all three games, they're all really, really good. But the reason why I'm putting this one so high up, but also below the other ones, is because I don't know, something about when I was looking around Gourd Lake, it felt a bit I don't know, like I was a dog chasing cars or something like that. It felt a little difficult. I felt like I was going randomly. But, I don't know, that's probably my own stupid strategy. The story, however, that introduced the fact that Edgeworth and Phoenix have been friends for a while, including Larry, but I don't know, maybe he's not to be included as a friend. I don't know, it depends on what you consider to be a friend. That whole story was just an amazing revelation. The fact we actually got to defend a guy that was so annoying before, and he actually redeemed himself and acted like a decent person, was pretty amazing. And yeah, it was just all around a pretty awesome case. Manfred von Karma is a good villain, and the fact, and I still remember the rush I got when I figured out that when I realized that the only option is to choose him as the bad guy, as the one who did it. When I was like, oh wait, no, he can't possibly be the bad guy. But then I realized, oh wait, it can only be him. It can only be the prosecutor. That was just that was really well done, in my opinion. Just pretty epic. I'm getting to the point to where I'm probably going to piss off anyone after when I put a case down. So anyways, this, the last case, the fourth case from the second game, Farewell My Turnabout, yeah, Turnabout is in every title besides Rise from the Ashes. Anyways, this case, the reason why I'm putting this so high up is mainly the stakes of it. The fact that you have to save Maya, the fact that you have to protect your client's innocence in order to save Maya is such a it gives you such high stakes, because it's not about your client anymore, it's about your partner, and obviously you'd want to save your partner. So like, it's and by partner I don't mean it in that way. I mean partner in crime. Wait, no, not in crime, in law. Yeah, not that kind of partner. No, we're not talking about that here. Anyways, yeah, the stakes are really high, so it gives it a greater level of importance, especially against the rest of the cases in the in the second game, Justice for All, because a lot of pretty much every case in Justice for All is disconnected from each other. There's not really an overlying story or underlying story. I don't know. I don't know what the phrase is, but it just doesn't. It's not all really interconnected like the other games, but at the same time, it is still pretty good. And the fact that you have to accomplish so much and it all feels so urgent is, I don't know, it's something not a lot of cases have done. And the fact that this is the first time where your client has actually been the one guilty, and that's just yeah, that really is yeah, the stakes are high, the story is good. Edgeworth comes back, and that was a really amazing moment. Francisca isn't the prosecutor for most of it, so it's actually tolerable in the courtroom, and yeah, it's just a really, really good case, a Kino case. And this is gonna surprise a lot of people, but I'll put term now. Again, I forgot what the heck this was even called. Crap. What? Where am I putting this? All right, hold on. There we go. So, well, I actually forgot what this was called, believe it or not. Wait, Bridge to Turnabout. Yeah. Bridge to Turnabout, because there's a bridge in it. Haha, very clever. Anyways, this case has, again, all of the last cases from the games are really, really good, because just, they're so, again, the story is just really good. That sense of urgency is there, and it's just, that's something that doesn't happen in any other trial except the last trials. When the last trials come about, it's you have to just dive straight in, because the stakes are high, and it's so such an interesting experience. You care less about the mystery and more about the characters and just what happens to them, and that's yeah. Anyways, Bridge to Turnabout, I like it. It's again, it's sort of a weird one, but I like it. I don't know why I say that, but I don't know. It feels a little strange, but at the same time, it is pretty good. Now, this is one of the cases to where the fact that you have an obstacle you have to overcome doesn't necessarily make it better, and if anything, makes it just a little bit more annoying. Because you have to get Maya out of the cave, and that's just sort of an annoying thing. It's like you want it to happen immediately, and it's not something you have a fun time trying to get done. But eventually she does come out of the of the cave, and you realize that she wasn't even in there in the first place. She was already out there in and she was channeling Iris. And Iris was pretending to be, what the frick was her name? What was her name? Oh, God. No, not Iris. Hold on a second. Iris is the good sister. Dahlia is the evil one, yeah. She was channeling Dahlia, I think. I think that's how you pronounce her name. I don't know. And then, it turned out that Dahlia was pretending to be Iris the entire time. It's a big twist, and it was a good moment. This is yet another game where Edgeworth isn't in there the full time, because why would Edgeworth be there from the very beginning? He's our prized possession. We've got to tease people about him, but yeah, he comes back, and you actually get to play as him, which is pretty cool. Of course, not as a prosecutor, unfortunately. That would be really fun, but yeah, you get to play as Edgeworth, and yeah, it's a pretty awesome case. Again, the obstacles feel more like obstacles, and they're more annoying than in the other games, because you want to get Maya out of the... Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But anyways, good case. Really good case. Also, the reason why I'm putting this so high up is because it had the unique task of ending an entire trilogy. Not just one game, but the entire trilogy. And I'd say as a trilogy ender, it's pretty good. Of course, it has its flaws, but the fact that they managed to accomplish a satisfying ending to 60 hours of total gameplay is really nice. The end credits didn't bring tears to my eyes, but they were really, really well done. And whenever I listen to that song again, it's very emotional. This is just a video game, but yeah, it is a really good wrap up to an awesome overall trilogy. And this is a case people either love or you hate. I'm putting it into the love category, obviously, seeing as how I'm holding it above everything else, but I understand its flaws, and I understand the criticisms people have against it, but I don't know. Something about this one above the other ones feels more... I don't know, it feels just better somehow. I really don't know why, but compared to the other last cases and compared to the rest of the series, this just feels like it's above that. I have no clue why. Maybe it's because it's so long and it gives you more time to get a satisfying story in. I mean, it's long enough. It could be the length of a lot of fan games, but I really have no clue why I'm putting this so high up, but I don't know. But I think maybe I should try to explain why. Alright, so, I think, first of all, it was, it brought about a new, I don't know, it brought about a new incident, the SL9 incident, and, it's another one of those cases where we just kind of ditch everything else that's happening and then talk about that other incident, so that's a bit weird, but, I really don't know how to describe it. It's just a good case. Yeah, I have no clue why. It's just really good. Huh. Yeah. I don't know. But I think part of it is probably because of the scope of it. I don't know. It feels very important stacked up against the other games. It feels more important than those, and I'm not, well, other cases, and I'm not really sure why. It just does feel, I don't know, it feels more important. That's really all I have to say about it. I can't really describe it in any more detail. It just yeah, it's a good case, and yeah. I honestly thought I'd be able to describe it, but I don't know. It's probably my favorite case. That's honestly why. Yeah. But I will actually bring up one other thing, though. It managed to have Edgeworth feel like a villain and a good guy at the same time, and it kind of worked. Because Edgeworth is a good person at heart, but he's kind of a jerk. And we get to see both sides here, and it feels almost natural. I don't know how to describe it, but when he's helping you and when he's against you, it all sort of blends seamlessly somehow, and it doesn't feel forced. And yeah, it manages to do without Maya, which is a hard task, but Emma Skye turns out to be a decent replacement. Of course, would it be better if we still had Maya with us? I'm honestly not sure, but yeah. It also made use of the 3D capabilities of the DS. I played this on the Switch, but the 3D came about because this was released on the DS first, but all the other ones were released on the Game Boy Advance first, so they just ported those over to the DS version. And there was nothing 3D, it was just all 2D, but on the DS, when they added a new case, they made use of its 3D capabilities, and it, I don't know, it feels like it all fits somehow, and, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking about it, because frankly, I'm going to just end up sounding really stupid, but yeah, just to recap, the worst one, which still isn't bad, but isn't that great, is Turnabout Big Top. The second worst one, which is good but a bit too drawn out, Turnabout Samurai. The one that's really, really weird but still kind of funny at the same time. recipe for Turnabout. The one that's really, really good, but has annoying characters, which makes it less enjoyable. Turnabout Sisters. The one that ended abruptly, but it had to end abruptly, but still, I didn't want it to end abruptly. Turnabout Beginnings. Reunion and Turnabout introduced Pearl, had an interesting twist and interesting story. Pretty good. Turnabout Beginnings introduced Phoenix. Well, not introduced, but, first, one of the youngest times we saw Phoenix. And it was just all around pretty good. I don't know, just good. The Stolen Turnabout played on the formula by making the bad guy the one you defend, even though it was technically done before. And it was it didn't involve a murder at first, and it was overall just really good. Still don't remember what the title of this was. Great introduction to a great trilogy. What was this? What was this? Oh god. Why don't I remember? Alright, The Forgotten Turnabout. A great start of a overall okay continuation. I've never played the Ace Attorney game, so I can't argue with your list. Yeah. A lot of other people probably could, though. Yeah, just a good beginning to an okay continuation of the first game. Turnabout Goodbyes. A great story, a great twist, a great villain. Made Edgeworth into an actual good guy. Turnabout. Farewell, My Turnabout. Yeah, kind of the same thing, I guess. It brought Edgeworth back, It made it so that Francisca wasn't the main prosecutor, so that's always a plus. Crap. What the heck was this called? Oh yeah, Bridge to Turnabout. It had to cap off the entire trilogy, and it did a good job. You got to play as more than one character. It tied up all the loose ends from previously, and yeah, all around pretty good. Rise from the Ashes. Just, I really don't know. Again, just something about it feels, I don't know. I have no clue. It feels kind of nostalgic somehow. Maybe I honestly don't know why. Just, I don't know. Something about it feels. It just feels better. I don't know how to describe it. It just feels better. It has a bigger story. It has two mysteries going on. It all interconnects. It manages to separate itself from the other games while still being. Still feeling like, well, the other cases, while still feeling like a continuation. I don't know. I don't know. It's just pretty well done. And that's the end of my tier list. I hope anyone who sat through 50 minutes of this actually somehow enjoyed it. That's kind of something not a lot of people can do, but yeah, I thought this was okay. And again, this is just my opinion. I'm not trying to, rip on anyone else's opinions. This is just what I felt when I played them. There's really no point in arguing about it, because at the end of the day, it's subjective. It's a matter of personal preference, and if you think that this is the best one, and if you think that this is the worst one, then that's completely fine. But for me, this is my list, and I'm probably not going to change it anytime soon. And yeah, Excelsior.